Hello, everyone. Welcome back to My Rising Rose. I am Jack Morrigan. I forgot my name for a second then. I was going to wind down for the evening, but I thought since it's the Lionsgate portal, it would be nice to do a dragon channeling. I was thinking that it would be Taixuan, but who knows? As you know, when I'm doing channelings, I can't really predict who's going to come through. I hope that you've had a good day today. For me, it's been a really interesting one. I've definitely been feeling the energy today, and I've had some pretty big openings and realizations. Some good stuff happening with family, like reconnections is kind of how I'm feeling, like a lot of sense of gratitude and forgiveness are probably the strongest energies for me. But it is what it is. Oh, little updates. So finally, we've got everything ready for the retreat that's from the 7th to the 11th of October. And there'll be a link in the description. You can check out that retreat in Glastonbury, England. And the Dragon Library will be releasing later this month, which is a nice segue into bringing through one of the dragons. So let's see who comes through. Kia Nalaya Nuren. Yanaleun. Yanaleun. Kia Nalaya Nuren. Yanaleun. Yone. Kia Nalaya Nuren. Yanaleun. Yanaleun. Yone. 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 So I'm just bringing myself in. Bear with me. Some of you who are really attuned or just familiar with us dragons will already get a sense of who I am, and I invite you to sense this for yourself. Clue, this is not the dragon that Jack thought would be coming through. Kianalaun. I am Taixuan Taixuan. White dragon of the heavens. Dragon of peace. Peace. Jack thought that he would be channeling Taixuan, who is a much more fiery and animated being than I am. But really, I wanted to come through to help him and you all to feel a deeper sense of inner peace. The kind of peace that I'm speaking about is one and the same with a total acceptance of life as it is, a total surrender to life as it is, a surrender so deep that it surpasses the need to surrender. The surrender beyond surrender. I don't want to get too cryptic. I know some of you will be scratching your head when I say that, trying to figure out what I mean. And this is where I drop in the tagline that we always have, us Dragons of the Rising Rose, which is, repeat after me. The words are not the most important thing here. Our energy is more important. I'm sharing with you a transmission of this peace, so you can simply feel that, let that land in you. If you wish to, you don't have to. But since you're here, I assume that you would like to meet in this way. I'm just going to take a moment to be in silence so that I can attune my energies well. Take this moment as you listen to listen into the silence. Notice that all thoughts are arising from and returning to silence. Likewise, any emotion that arises is arising from and returning to silence. Sometimes silence can feel scary. There can be a subtle sense of fear that is linked to letting go into the silence. And of course, the silence we're letting go into is the silence of our own being. It's the silence of the essence of who you are. Now, there's parts of you that are identified with the thoughts that are coming and going, with the emotions that are coming and going. Sometimes this is called your ego, though that word has been really vilified over the years. What can happen is that the part of you that's identified with your thoughts and your feelings can feel threatened by the silence, because that identification knows that silence is a kind of releasing of it. It's a releasing of your identification with thoughts and feelings, which to that part of you is a death-like experience. And because you're identified with it, it can evoke the fear of death. It doesn't mean that anything is actually going to happen. It just means that the fear is there, and it can be a strong fear. Sometimes it might just be very subtle, and it might manifest as distracting thoughts, or it can manifest as negative thoughts towards me because I'm the one who's bringing your attention toward it. So there might be a part of you that's trying to push me away. But all we're doing here is just inviting any part of you that is currently identified, let's say, just a little too much with thoughts and feelings. And that's is true for Jack as well. So there are parts of him that are identified with thoughts and feelings, and he can feel it is located specifically within parts of his body that are forming energetic knots. And there's one in particular that is located in his sacrum, which has been bothering him for really most of his life, as a sense of kind of discomfort and resistance. What we're doing is we're going into that place, and we're just acknowledging there it is. We're not trying to get rid of it or anything. We're just aware of it. And we're aware that any fear connected to it is arising and disappearing inside this silence. As you notice that, there may be releasing of energy inside of your body. Something that was kind of stuck might start to just kind of loosen a little bit, and then there might be a little kind of almost like a wave of energy that kind of moves off it as it starts to open and untangle. So we're just allowing those movements to flow. We're letting them flow, and we're being supported by the silence that is present with us always. If the silence could be converted into a sentence, it would be something like, everything, dear friend, is completely okay. Everything, dear friend, is completely okay. Even your fear of me, this is the silence speaking, even your fear of me is completely okay. This silence is God's silence. This silence is God's silence. And everything that we are is and always has been held within God's silence. You might ask yourself, well, why would I want to focus on this? Some of you will have answers to that, I'm sure. You'll know why. One of the reasons is because it provides peace. And ultimately, whatever you're doing in your life, peace will be one of the major goals. Ultimately, think about what motivates people to do things. Happiness, ultimately, motivates people to do things, even when people are doing things that seem maybe a little crazy. Within it, there's this desire for happiness. And peace and happiness are two sides of the same coin. So by giving our attention to the silence within, by noticing our thoughts and emotions arising from it and returning to it, we give ourselves the opportunity to discover the silence within, which brings us peace. There's also a practical dimension in that when we do this, we align ourselves with the deeper truth of who we are, which is a more fundamental creativity. And this creativity can then flow through our bodies, inspire our minds, and fuel our action. Making us more productive in a joyful way, in an easy way, to help us become the person that we have always felt that we are deep inside. So it's not just some random metaphysical contemplation to discover in order to feel important or to brag about at parties. It's the discovery of something very simple and ordinary that everybody has. From the person who annoys you the most in your life to the person you admire the most, everyone has the same silence of being as the foundation of creativity within their life. The Lionsgate portal is often seen as a time of creativity. So let us plant a seed of creativity now. We've taken the time to cultivate the silence within by turning our attention toward it. So let us find a seed to plant within this silence, so that it may grow and mature into something wonderful. But what shall we find? It's not my place to tell you, but rather to help you to find what this is for yourself. So go within now. Turn your inner eye and inner ear toward the silence within you. Listen to the silence. A phrase may enter your mind from the silence to you, like an affirmation. It could be something like, I am good enough. It may be an image, a picture of who you are destined to become. Something beautiful, wonderful, powerful, creative. A bringer of wisdom and love in your own way. Hear the affirmation with your inner ear. See the vision of who you are with your inner eye. Focus on this for a moment now. This is a very simple and short practice and introduction to manifestation using cosmic silence. I hope that sharing this with you during this potent portal time will aid you as you grow into the potential of your life and discover the peace of your own being. Thank you for your time. Goodbye for now.